A couple more things to discuss here, gentlemen. Kai Havertz, big money signing, a lot of expectations. So far, has failed to live up to said expectations. Scott, are you a bit concerned about this? Are you concerned about his form?
Gary said earlier about players taking a year to adjust to the Premier League, and it may well be that's the case. I think what we saw in the Bundesliga was a highly talented player that Chelsea in the summer were thinking, wow, you know, we've got some talent here. Other top clubs around Europe would have been loving to have had this guy. Disappointed, yes. I don't like talking about fees and how much players cost, so I'm going to try and avoid that. But yes, a lot of money and therefore a lot of pressure is on him. But I just watch him in terms of what he's giving, and it just looks like at the moment he's in second or third gear. Now, why is that? I don't think it's because he's not trying. I feel there's a lack of confidence. It looks to me as if he looks a little bit fragile, both physically and perhaps even mentally as well, a confidence player. So if he's playing really well, wow, look at him go. And I watched him sort of go into the box or try to go into the box a couple of times. And I thought, yeah, really go for it, really take on that defender. And he didn't. He just kept on passing it, made it simple. And that's what you do when you're lacking confidence. You just do the simple things and you don't try to do the difficult things. You perhaps think a little bit too much. So, look, in terms of what he's produced so far, I'd probably say he's been the most disappointing Chelsea signing so far. But again, we're not even halfway through the season here. I think he can come on strong in the second half of the season, but it may be one of those that we don't see the best of Kai Havertz until next season and beyond.
72 million seems to be a cursed number, Gabby. Nicolas Pepe joined Arsenal for 72. Kepa joined Chelsea for 72. Kai Havertz joined Chelsea for 72 million pounds. Are you expecting him to come good as well? Or should there be deeper concerns about him?
I think Scott is right there. You know, he might need a year in the Premier League, get used to the pace of it. And I feel like Havertz has to play in his position. I don't think he can play on the wing. He needs to play in behind a striker like Werner, who makes runs in behind, get Havertz on a half turn and make them passes. But Scott is right there that he's getting the ball and he's making the easy pass. You want to see someone who's been brought for 72 million to do something genius. You see, like Grealish gets the ball in the holes, he makes something happen, he runs at people, he puts people through, he'll score a screamer. You don't see that from Havertz at the moment. He's playing within himself. And for 72 million, Chelsea and Frank Lampard especially can't afford him to carry on like that. But he's still a young player. You can't write him off yet. You've got to give him another season and see if he can come good. But it is a bit worrying for me. And to see him not starting many games is a bit worrying as well, especially over this Christmas period.
I was going to ask
you took the words out of my mouth. Sorry, Adam, just off the back of that. He took the words out of my mouth in terms of, or just what I was thinking about if you compare him to Jack Grealish. You know, you look at them and when they pick up the ball, you kind of know something's going to happen with Jack Grealish, or at least he's going to try something a little bit special. Whereas with Kai Havertz, it's the simple pass, it's the 5-yard pass, the 10-yard pass. He may go past one player, but then there's no looking up in behind or across to come in. Whereas with Jack Grealish, you almost, you know, you're standing up thinking something's going to happen. So at the moment, he's a million miles away from Grealish. But as I say, we need to give the guy time. Timo Werner's already come out and said he's finding the pace of the Premier League very, very difficult. And I think it's not unusual at this time of the year. Listen, let's not forget, it's a condensed season already. So they're playing more games than they would do in a normal Premier League season. So you've got foreign players coming in, adjusting to the pace of the Premier League, playing more games than they normally would at almost the craziest time of the season as well. So let's give him more time, but there's no doubt about it. So far his marks would be 4 or 5 out of 10, could do better.